Well, good afternoon, and welcome to this week's edition of Drive Facebook Live. I'm Bob Spitz, your host, with Tony Whistler, my partner, and our very special guest for this first episode, or what we call the post-expo episode, is Michelle Buck from Acclaim Auto and Truck in Phoenix, Arizona. Hello, Michelle.
Hey,
It's good to see you.
good to see you guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Michelle, for everybody who's listening in, and why don't you tell them all where I said Phoenix, but let them know where you are, the kind of shop you guys have. You got a little bit of a unique situation with a bunch of owners and you. So why don't you just introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Michelle Buck. We're here in Scottsdale, Arizona. We are Acclaim Car and Truck Repair. We are a classic, antique, vintage car general repair with emphasis on transmission rebuilds and repairs. These guys have been at it for a long time. My little bit about how I got in here. My husband happens to be one of the owners, and I was kind of right after COVID, before it kind of started dying down a bit. I needed a job. I came in and was helping clean the office and straighten up and whatnot, just as something to do. And one of the owners said, "Do you computer?" And I
Do
said,
your computer.
he literally said, "Do you computer?" It wasn't, "Can you help me on the computer?" It was, "Do you computer?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." I do. He sat me down, told me what he was trying to do. It took me all of 2 minutes. He said, "Don't move." And I haven't been allowed to move since. So
Well,
this has been my spot.
There you
well,
go.
you've gone from that humble beginning to Michelle just earned a very special award. She's one of our newest effective shop managers. She received that at the expo a couple of
Congrats.
weeks ago. Congratulations.
Thank you. That was
Yeah,
a fun project to get, a goal to get to.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of the expo, how did you like it?
Oh, I had a blast. The biggest thing for me is I talk to you guys on Zoom all the time. My coach Roxy, I've been talking to her for a year. I actually got to hug these people and thank them face to face and say thank you for being my team, my support, and pushing me and pushing us to be better. So I got to actually hug these people and say thank you, and it was just wonderful to actually see and shake hands and hug people and meet them face to face.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, that is one of the absolute benefits of the expo is finally getting to see your clients and your clients seeing you and
Yeah.
making that connection because it's very special. Now, one of the things, I admire you walking into a very established business with two owners, plus your husband is one of the owners, and trying to introduce change of procedures in that environment. That can be a little daunting,
Scary is the word.
scary.
Scary is the word. Change does not come easily to a man of their 70s or even 60s. They're set in their ways. It works. I'm not going to change it because it's not broken. And that additive goes to cars very well, but not necessarily business. There's a lot of things that have changed over the years that they haven't necessarily wanted to try or known that they could try. Um, and my background is in education. I was a teacher for a little while and adult education. And so I am always wanting to grow, learn, and be better. And when I was introduced to Drive, I was like, this is going to teach me. This is going to teach me how to grow this business. I'm going to take this baby in and really nurture it and really grow it. And it's going to be mine someday. So I need to know it from the bottom up. And they were hesitant to say the least, but they are also very understanding that they are not going to be here forever. And
Right.
we need to grow the business into something more than what it is. Not that it's a failure, it's never been a failure. I mean, these guys have been through recessions, depressions, God knows what else. pandemics and have survived. But I'm not looking to just survive.
That's
So
right.
yeah,
That's
I have a
right.
quick question.
As we
So
say,
because
cockroaches survive.
that's
yeah,
right. So I was going to ask, because you have that education background and you feel that, like myself as well, and a lot of us, all of us here in this meeting are educators. So you have that love for knowledge and learning. What's your take on the workshops and how they've gone for you, and how just a quick
I love the
rundown on that?
action workshops are, if I want some quick results and some quick changes to be in place, the action workshops are amazing.
Mm,
It gives me that quick bit of knowledge to get me my foot in the door, and then I can just roll with it. The master workshops are a little bit more time consuming. They require the time and the research and the understanding to really dive deep into the business. So they're both individually wonderful. One, quick and, get some things done and some changes implemented quickly. The other is going to take time to implement and to see the change.
Right.
very
Great.
good.
They're both great.
Right. The
Awesome.
master workshops are really designed to give you those aha moments,
Yes.
where the
Mhm.
action workshops are, okay, here's the idea, here's the principle, go do it.
Go do exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now your shop has got your fellows have a very good reputation. You and I were speaking about that one day where you've had cars come in from Barrett Jackson.
We have, um, we have Ken years ago in his trail on into this career, actually worked for Mr. Barrett at one point, doing a lot of his vehicles and his transmissions. He did. The story is amazing, and I couldn't do it justice by trying to repeat it. But he used to work with them and do his personal collection. So we have a lot of connections in the car world. So our name has been out there. They used to do a tent at Barrett Jackson years ago for marketing and whatnot. And that just got a little bit out of control. So they honed it and they kept their connections, and people from Barrett Jackson who get these classic cars and they think they're getting a gem, because they're beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous. They go to turn the key and they're not quite where they want them. So there's not a lot of shops around that will work on an original vehicle. So we get a lot of calls we just bought this at Barrett Jackson. Yeah, it's not working right. Can we just have it towed to you? Absolutely, bring it in. We'll take a
Yeah.
look. We'll take a look, see what we got.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they're not intimidated by a 2-speed power glide.
No, absolutely not. Ken can eat those for breakfast.
Nice.
He got weaned on all of these old transmissions from the 60s and 70s. He knows how to work them just right, and he can tell you, even if it's not the transmission that's the problem, we're not going to fix your transmission if it's not broken. Sometimes it's in the carburetor. The carburetor's not working right. Compression. It's not always the transmission, and we're not going to work on it if it's not the problem.
Right. Yeah, but
Ethical.
that's all ancient technology now.
It is.
Carburetors, distributors, standard ignition. Holy cow.
Yeah.
So it's fabulous that you guys are able to do that. And your husband obviously did not grow up with that kind of technology, but he's learning it, or he learned it.
He grew up with it in a sense that he's been in the shop since high school. He's been in and out of the shop since high school. So he
Oh,
grew
all right.
up with it, wrenching on them, learning how to work on them, taking instruction, take the 4 bolts off, get the carburetor off. There's four, okay, on every carburetor, there's 4 bolts. You take the carburetor off that way. And then
That's right.
from there you go, okay, well, how does the carburetor work? And so he grew up learning all of this technology, all of this old technology, and how to work on it. So he grew up with it in that sense. Now, was it the car that he drove all the time? No.
No. Well, those are the case. Beauty is skin deep on some of those older cars.
Exactly.
Yes, yes. They have many colorful phrases around the shop about what they call them. I call them a 20-foot car. And 20 feet, they look beautiful. You get any
Yes.
you get any closer, and you're getting pretty scared.
Oh, I know. People can
Yeah.
get duped with classics and collectibles, especially a car that's been sitting for 20 years.
Yes.
Holy cow. You go and try to drive that around,
Yes.
man, you're gonna
There's
spring
always a
leaks all over the
process.
place.
Oh yeah, there's always a process to reviving a car. The car has been sitting for a while. Don't even try to turn it over. Don't do it.
No.
You're doing more damage than anything. And we try and make that as abundantly clear to people as we can who call and say, I've got this old car my dad left in the back 40 over here, and I really want to get it running. Don't start it.
Right.
Do nothing. Put it on a trailer and get it here.
And bring it over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the biggest advice I can give people. If they got a classic sitting in the back 40 that grandpa left and you really want to get it running, don't try and start it yourself.
Yeah. So do you have a lot of resto shops that you do the mechanical work for, or do you do it mainly individuals?
No, we don't have any fleets that we work on or anything like that. We haven't done that. The guys haven't done that in years. They used to work with, like I said, Barrett Jackson and a couple of places that they would do their transmission work. But that's kind of gone to the wayside a little bit. So all of these are personal owners who have collections, or enthusiasts, or even now the younger people. I have a lot of younger people who are snatching up these classics and going, well, I want it to run like my 2024 Mazda. Good luck.
Yeah. Well, we'll jack the car up and put a Mazda underneath it and lower it
Yeah,
again.
there
Yeah.
you go. That's about as close as you're gonna get.
Did you get the airbags in yet? No.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But and then on the other side of it, we have the younger people who really can't appreciate a classic. They were gifted the car or inherited the car, and they want to learn about it. They want to understand it. So we've done some cars for some younger kids, and we've done an educational moment where where Ken or Dave will get out there with them and go, okay, this is where the oil goes. This is how you check the oil. This is what you
Yep.
call dipstick.
That's all very valuable.
Yeah, so we've
Yeah.
done it with a couple of them, and how to drive a classic car it's so important. Throttle response is completely different on a
Completely
classic
different.
than on
You
a
got all that linkage and a carburetor, and yeah, it's completely different.
understanding, and even stopping power is different than
Oh my gosh, yeah.
yeah. So understanding
What's stopping power?
well, if the brakes are done right, it should stop.
I don't know. 66 Dodges, single circuit, drum brakes. Get that car over 80 miles an hour. You
Oh, it
better
is
bring
not.
an
Yeah.
anchor with you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Throw it out the
Give yourself
window.
plenty of stopping room because you need at least 3 miles.
Yeah. There it is.
You know, Michelle, we were talking because you are in a hot climate. You and I were joking about the necessity of putting salt licks up in the shop for the technicians.
Yeah.
You know, but
They're so dehydrated on a regular basis. I got to keep their electrolytes up. So we just put some salt licks on the wall and say, have at it.
have at it. But you do have one of the ways is you changed your operating hours in the summer, isn't that right?
So the guys, because we're in Arizona, for as long as I've been here, they have been 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. because of the Arizona heat. You got to get out of the shop after 2. It gets hotter and hotter as the sun comes up, and it's scorching. I've even told the guys, no more working in the parking lot. After the sun comes up, you're in a bay. If it has to be done outside, it can wait till the next morning. It's just too dang hot. Dehydrated.
Oh yeah.
I don't need these guys falling out on me. I don't
No,
want
you don't need people with heat stroke and sending them to the
No.
hospital, and
no. We do
absolutely.
our best. We keep water in the fridge. I make sure that they've got water bottles, and I'm always hounding Ken. Have you drank enough water today? I mean, he's 70 some years old, skin and bones, so I got to make sure he stays hydrated. I need him around a bit longer.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, now that you've achieved effective shop manager, what's your next goal?
I'm
You always got to have another
yeah,
goal.
I'm so excited. That was the first call. So I had my first after expo meeting with my coach yesterday morning. And the first thing out of my mouth was, I need the list. She goes, okay, which one? I said, well, what's the next award I can get? She goes,
Professional.
I said, then I need that list. I want it. So
You can do a shout out to your consultant if you want. Let everybody know who that is.
hey, Roxy,
There it is.
my biggest champion. She's always on me and making sure that we're staying on task. Thank you so much for everything that you do for me. On a personal
Very
level
nice.
too. She listens to me cry on a regular basis.
Yep.
On a
Part of
regular basis. It's
Yep.
been a rough one, Roxy. I don't know what to do. I might kill somebody. Okay, breathe.
Well, Roxy is watching. She is on.
Yes, she's on.
Awesome. She's
Very good.
absolutely amazing. I love you, Roxy. Thank you for everything that you do for me.
There it
Now,
is.
with your niche in the marketplace, what are you doing marketing wise?
So
What's your strategy?
that's where you lovely people come into play. I have you guys took over my website. You guys have designed me a beautiful website. And I get tons of compliments on it on a regular basis from my established customers. When we first changed it over, they were like, oh my gosh, it's about time. This is amazing. You guys have so much to offer, so much information now. It's wonderful. And then we started a Facebook, and you guys do our Facebook as well. And then I threw in a few months ago doing Instagram. And doing, because pictures speak 1,000 words. People want to know what we're working on, what we're doing, what we see. So we started doing Instagram. And then I got a wild hair and went, I want to do YouTube. I've got
Good for you.
Good.
I've got these brains of these brilliant, brilliant men who've been doing this for 50 years. That I need to get this information out there. So we started doing some YouTube videos. Not very many right now, but I have tons of film that just needs to be edited and put together and then put up. So
What's the name of your channel?
Acclaim Car and Truck.
Okay,
That's
we'll have
great.
to check it out.
Yeah.
And it's great for what you guys do because there's an aesthetic like there that people want to see. Like it isn't like I mean, I think a YouTube channel is great for any shop. So don't get me wrong. But for a place when you're doing like things that people actually are attracted to, like I'm not really attracted to my Ford Taurus, like I'm not going, oh, let me go look at the YouTube channel, but for you guys, you have an added element there that makes it very valuable. And I've consulted other like the resto shops, not just the mechanic side, but the guys who are doing the body work too and stuff, and they really lean hard in onto that YouTube stuff. So
absolutely
very, very good stuff.
Yeah. So we're trying our hand at it. It's hard to get these guys in front of the camera without them sounding like me most times. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yes, you do. You do it all the time. Put words to it. Just put words to it.
Just walk me around that 67 Firebird and point out what this car is all about.
So
I'd watch that.
I would. That's what I said. Nobody cares what you look like or how you really sound. They want to see the car.
They want to see the car.
That is
exactly right.
Yeah, they just.
Yeah, what the heck is that
car.
thing sitting on top of the engine?
Exactly. Just point and go. That's a carburetor. Okay, what kind of carburetor? It's a 4-barrel. Oh, awesome. What does it do? People just want to know because it's so foreign. And like you said, there's an attraction to it. If you don't know about something, people want to know, why is that car so beautiful? Why was it so popular?
Yeah, then maintenance tips for people with classic cars.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of our goals, is to have a maintenance tip blog on our website that has all of these really cool little, tips that these guys have learned over the years on how to check transmission fluid. What levels should they be at for each transmission, that are, made in the 60s, made in the 50s, all of the.
That's right.
All of the tips.
And if you've got a C4 Mustang transmission, do not put GM fluid in it.
No. Oh my gosh, that is the biggest thing that we see. There's two types of fluid that we see people using incorrectly often. These old cars need to have a zinc in a straight 40 foil.
Yep.
They need to. They don't make them like they used to. They need the zinc in to keep the camshaft working right, keep everything lubricated and cooled correctly. And then transmission fluid. It's got to be the right transmission fluid for the vehicle. And if it's some of these old transmissions, it's not even transmission fluid. It's 90 weight. It's a 90
Wow.
Now
weight.
you're getting really old.
Yeah.
So where do you find those consumables for cars that are that old?
We actually, O'Reilly's carries everything that we require for these cars. They carry a zinc additive or a zinc oil that we use. And the transmission fluid, we actually get specialty from our transmission distributor. They send us cases of transmission fluid all the time. But and then 90 weight, you can get at O'Reilly's. We use O'Reilly's for a lot of our stuff.
Very good.
Yeah. No, I have an old motorcycle, and same thing. I get my Valvoline Racing VR1 because that's heavy zinc content.
Yep, that's it.
So that I don't burn out the bearings in my engine. Oh, by the way, our marketing department has posted your links to your social medias in the chat
Nice.
for anybody who'd like to take a look.
Go take a look-see.
Yeah, go take a look-see. Absolutely. Yeah, that's, it's fascinating because you're talking about the vehicles that I grew up with and I worked on. And, and another one, of course, was learning that Chryslers had left-handed threads.
We've learned
going
that
on.
the hard way.
That's right. I can't get this wheel off.
Yeah. Why does it seem to be just getting tighter and tighter?
Yeah.
Try the other direction.
Yeah, I know. So,
Yeah. All
Interesting.
kinds of fun little nuances for each individual car that we work on.
And that's why you have that all those Chilton guides behind you?
Yeah. So we like to, especially if it's an NCRS car that needs to be original, even these original motors, they need to be to spec. You've got to tighten certain bolts at a certain foot pounds, a certain inch pounds. A certain torque has got to be on these things. So these old books are amazing for quick reference. Because if we tried to write down everything on a list and post it on a wall, we'd have the entire shop covered in papers. So these old books come in handy, and anytime I see them, I try and pick them up. But they've got, you can't even see all of them. There's 3 bookshelves back here full of old Mitchell manuals, Chilton manuals, auto manuals, just everything that you can think of that starts in the 30s and goes up to probably the mid 80s that we reference.
Yeah, well, hold on to them because,
Oh, yeah.
that's all very valuable information. By the way, Dan Vasquez, who's one of our new Master Elites and an instructor, says hello, Michelle. He's watching.
Hi, Dan. I think I shook your hand. Watched you receive your award. Congratulations to yourself. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Yep,
And
Dan's
speaking
great.
of awards, Tony, I think it's time for one of our station breaks.
Well, we're going to take a little station break. So we're going to talk about the awards that happened. I'm trying to find it here. That happened at the expo. I'm going to share screen real quick. So you see this nice little.
Look at all those red shirts.
Look at those red shirts, man. That's a workshop that we delivered at Toman. I think that was a Friday morning workshop that I was doing. All these guys had their red shirts on. They were all from the Drive Expo, letting the people at the tow show know how much support Drive has for the tow show and all of our clients being there. So that's a great shot. I just wanted to let everyone see that. And so let's talk a little bit about the prizes. There's a passport completion prize that was given away. What they win is they win 2 free nights at the hotel for the next expo.
Oh.
Ah.
So for you guys who are coming to the expo, you gotta get a hotel for the however long you're going to be there. 2 of those nights, if you're going to stay more, 2 of them will be for free. And the person who won was Sean Goldthwait of Bunting's Auto Body. He won it
up in New Hampshire.
Yep, congratulations to him. Now,
well done, Sean.
There was also a little contest that we did called the red T-shirt contest, which meant if you wore your red T-shirt to the Toman show, then we'd put your name in a hopper and we'd pull your names. and a few people won a gift card. And I'm going to list off some of their names. And I apologize if I get your name, like if I butcher your pronunciation, but I'm going to try to go for it here. Amber Stout of First Automotive won. Brian Note and Sarah Rogers of Allen's Automotive won. Emery Hinley of Auto Service of Pleasant View won. Steve Mosley of Mile High Mobile Truck Repair won. Ryan Bethel of RDI Power won. This one's the hard one. Raul Sonoyu, I guess. Sorry about that. From RS Motorsports won. Fernando Medina of Quick Lane Mobile also won. And Uriel from Buddy's Service Center won. And just before I get to the last one, I just want to say, if you're watching Uriel, your service advisor just called me, and I'm assuming that my car is done, because my car is in his shop right now, and I'm getting it fixed today because he lives real close to me here in Georgia. He's in, so he runs Buddy's over in Jonesboro, and yesterday he had my car up on a rack. So anyway, moving on, Armando Perez of AXK Collision won, and
Good for Armando.
Marlene Reyes. What was that?
Good for Armando.
Yeah, good for him. And Marlene Reyes of Manny Euro Auto Service also won a gift card. So that's the commercial.
Congratulations to all of you.
One other announcement, because the 4th of July is next week, we will not have a Facebook Live next Friday. So take advantage of that 30 minutes that you usually spend with us, and go get yourself a cocktail or whatever you want to do. Yeah. So that's the
or for
plan.
you, Michelle, a cold dog.
That's right. That's right. Okay, back to the show.
Yeah. So do you all have any kind of plans for the 4th of July, Michelle?
The shop will be closed Thursday and Friday. As far as plans, I am a hermit when it comes to this heat. I do my best to stay where there is air conditioning. The best AC is in my house.
There you
go. Unless your pool is refrigerated.
Correct.
Right.
If you've got a refrigerated pool, I'll take an invite. Otherwise, I will probably just avoid the heat.
There you go.
Well, that sounds like a smart move.
Air is always better when it's well conditioned, when it's in a good condition. So
it's in a good condition. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, that is key.
Yeah.
All righty. Now we have a couple minutes left before we're going to call it a day. So I thought I'd ask you one other question. Off the top of your head, based on everything you've studied so far, you're just at the beginning of this journey. You have the first certification, got a couple more to go, but I would say, what is the best workshop that you did that had the biggest change for your shop, for the people who are listening, so they can think with what you thought was the workshop that did the best for your shop?
It was the bookkeeping workshops.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the money person here, and understanding the finances that are here have allowed me to cut where we are just bleeding money, which has increased our profits. So that was probably the best workshop for me. And there's a whole series of workshops when it comes to the bookkeeping that I am registered for, and I will be taking in the coming months. But just the initial bookkeeping area workshop was phenomenal.
And that was Chris Probst was your instructor?
She was
with Chris.
absolutely wonderful. Yeah.
Chris is one of the greats.
Yeah, she is absolutely wonderful. She's definitely my goals when it comes to bookkeeping. She is a whiz with those numbers.
She runs
the biggest one.
She runs a great Stage 4 shop in Colorado, Denver, Colorado, and she also has an accounting background. And so I snatched her up as fast as I could to get her instructing our financial workshops, and she has done a phenomenally good job.
Yeah, you'll have to take a road trip sometime, Michelle. Go up there and see her.
I actually, that's not a far cry. I have family in Gunnison, Colorado, so it wouldn't be a hard elbow bend for me to go do.
Oh, okay,
Nice.
good. Well, we're hard up against the top of the hour here. Michelle, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and once again, congratulations on achieving effective shop manager. And we look forward to seeing you on the stage for professional and master of shop management.
Absolutely. I'm
So-
going for, I'm not gonna just stop there. I'm gonna go for elite sustain.
Absolutely.
There it is.
And
That's
then
the
become one of our instructors.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
Yes.
can come help me out.
you got it. You got it, Tony.
Very nice. Yep.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
for all of us at Drive Facebook Live, thank you so much and have a great weekend.
Thanks,
So
guys.
long, everybody.